Hello, hello. Good morning and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. Here we are again on another broadcast where we try to connect with each other, where we try to connect with our country, our city, our state through headlines, through comments, ideas, and suggestions. And it looks like a great day to do so. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Paco. And if you are watching for the first time, welcome, welcome. If you want to let us know that you're watching for the first time, feel free to add the word new to your comment, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. Look at all those good mornings. I love it. I love watching your good mornings every morning. What is going on today? Well, today is October the 8th. It's getting cooler, not yet fall winter weather, but it's definitely getting cooler. And today we have a few bits of news that I want to share with you. Today, we're going to play two games, not one game, but we are going to play two games. One of them is a guess the word game, and the other one has to do with our behavior in public or private. Today, we are going to play a game which has to do with identifying the things that make us go like this, but not yet. Oops, let me hide behind my lady friend. Anyhow, not yet. Let us first take a look at the news. How many news people have you seen that wipe their forehead in the middle of a broadcast? Then again, this is not a formal news program of any kind. This is just little me with Luna, my kitty cat, broadcasting from my home. Let's get started. Okay, so are you looking for a job? Because God knows Puerto Vallarta is looking for help at the tune of 20,000 vacancies. Fall and winter season are around the corner, and so is the return or arrival of thousands of snowbirds and tourists escaping from cold weather elsewhere to enjoy some quality time here in our city. But who's going to take care of them? Who's going to take care of us? According to this news report, there are over 20,000 jobs to be filled in Puerto Vallarta and surrounding communities, Puerto Vallarta and elsewhere in the Bay. Now, we've been hearing these reports all through the summer when the pace of the city is slower when compared to that of fall and winter, but apparently business chambers and businesses themselves have been unable to recruit. So the risk of not having 100% staffing to provide top quality service to those visiting our city in the upcoming months is very real. We've talked about this before. We don't have any new answers. We don't have any new questions, but it is a matter of fact that when we go to restaurants or shopping or the bank or when we stay at hotels this fall and winter in Puerto Vallarta, things may not be as swift as we're used to. So at least we will have some idea of why this is happening. If you notice this photograph, totally unrelated, but have you noticed how tilted the horizon is in this photograph? Um, I know that if when I was working at Vallarta Lifestyles, if I had submitted a photo with a horizon that was that tilted for publishing, I would have been scolded. Or maybe it's an editorial comment from the photographer that we're heading down. I don't know, but I just thought I'd mention it because this is not the only tilted horizon we're going to see today. But first, did anybody go to the market yesterday? I saw videos of people marching along the Malecón. I saw videos of dancers dancing, and I saw some horses. From what I can see, it was a celebration, nothing else. And why not? I think it's a great idea that the city or whoever organized this decided to, just raise a flag and say, hey, we are here. We're ready to sell you some wares. And Shop owners, from what I've read, took the opportunity to thank the local government for all the support they received during the pandemic years. And apparently, there were singers and other artists sponsored by the Vallarta Cultural Institute. So, if anybody attended and would like to let us know um, what's going on or what went on, or if you enjoyed the party or not, please feel free to let us know. I, of course, was busy. Now, let's move on to another tilted horizon and another bit of news. Now, we don't know where these came from or who brought them or how they got there, but one day these enormous rocking horses appeared out of nowhere at Puerto Vallarta's Malecón, and everybody embraced them. And why not? They're enormous. And I've seen people of all ages and sizes hopping on them, letting go of their daily woes, and spending a few minutes just rocking away. But now they're taking them away. But fear not, it's only for maintenance. All 11 horses are due for some TLC from damages caused by the weather and from daily use. And gotta love the tilted horizon. Why am I commenting on the tilted horizon today? Well, because it's so easy to look at your viewfinder when you're taking a photo and just, straighten it, or you can do it later with photo editing software. But who am I to say how you take your photographs? Interesting comments coming in about hospitality, and we'll get to those in a second. But first, let us take a quick look at the weather just to see what we can expect for the rest of the weekend. Breaking, oh no, they're picking on my future ex-husband, Chris Pratt. Breaking news, Chris Pratt's Mario voice sounds exactly like Chris Pratt. Apparently, everybody was expecting Super Mario in the new upcoming movie voiced by Chris Pratt to sound Italian, but he sounds just like himself, Chris Pratt. But that's okay. I'm still going to marry him, and he's still going to become my future ex-husband. But first, before the wedding, let's look at the weather. 27 degrees feels like 30. Humidity is at 83%, and our temperature in Fahrenheit numbers is 81. The weather forecast for today says it's going to be a humid day with a high of 32 and a low of 23. Tomorrow, Sunday, it's going to be a humid day with a high of 32 and a low of 24. And lastly, on Monday, it's going to be humid again with a high of 33 and a low of 24. It's almost as though our summer weather is refusing to let go and saying, hey, bitches, I'm going to send you all this humidity so that you cannot forget what summer is about. But again, the weather is supposed to turn in a matter of weeks, and soon enough, we'll be enjoying the dry fall air. Perfect for shopping. Yes, this is my shopping bag for today, and this is because, well, that's my shopping budget for the weekend. But let us talk about those bags. Did you see this? Aren't these pretty? Do you own one of these? You know, when you say you want to go shopping and you bring one of these, do you know what you're bringing? Going shopping, don't forget your blank. The question is, why do you call these chingaderas? Does anybody know? Because I just found out, and I didn't know they had a specific name. I can tell you it is a style of bag. These are a style of bag with a handle that originated in the state of Yucatan. And prior to the arrival of the conquistadors, there was already a bag with handle similar to these used by locals. Um, Here's an example of a more traditional one. You know, these are the ones that are made with fibers called enequen or henequen in English, which are extracted from agave plants. And it is worth knowing that during the Spanish conquest, enequen was considered as green gold because of its commercial possibilities. But what is it called? Does anybody know the actual name of these little bags? Going once? And it's not about the size, it's the style of bag. Going once, going twice. Well, I just found out about this because I never knew what to look for on Google if I wanted to buy one. They are called Sabucán. And this term is a combo of Mayan word with a Spanish word. And it has an origin that is not that different from that of the hammock or hamaca. Anyhow, I thought you would want to know the actual name of these things should you want to go into Google or into Amazon to find where to buy them. Of course, they're local. They can be found everywhere. And in fact, I'm almost thinking that we can add this to our list of things that you should do things you should do or you should have done to be considered an English-speaking local. I think that owning one of these is essential to consider ourselves an English-speaking local. I always keep a stash of them at home because you never know when you need to bring a present to someone, and I think they're perfectly stylish for that. And that, my friends, was the first game we played today, and I see some of your guesses, and I love them. I think it was, who was it? Well, I'll scroll through your comments in a second because somebody was innocently called this a bolsa, and I think that is correct. The generic name of these are bolsas or bags. But, you know, if I wanted to Google bolsa on Google, you know, I would get all kinds of bags. So to get these, you need to look for a sabucan. Anyhow, that was our first game. Our second game, I thought actually today would be a perfect segue to play You're Not an English-Speaking Local Until You Blank. But I figured, no, we played that game before. Let's play a different game. In this game, we're going to play without any judgment. In fact, there you go. This game we are going to play without any judgment. We're just going to listen to everybody's different answers. You know, we all have things that send us around the edge. You know, things that make us roll our eyes, things that really piss us off, things that bring out the worst of us when we least expect it. So this is the game that we're going to play today as we are looking at your comments. I thought I was a good person, but the way I react when people blank would suggest otherwise. And I'm going to go first, just to make sure that you feel comfortable doing this. I think I react poorly when I find myself, oh my God, I'm not even showing you what I'm supposed to be showing you. There you go. And let's see, no, we cannot have music and slide at the same time. My bad. Okay, so I thought I was a good person, but the way I react when people blank would suggest otherwise. And I'm going to contribute to this by saying that ATM machines in Mexico are fairly stupid. They only do two things, essentially. They allow you to check your balance and they allow you to extract money. You don't find a lot of the sophisticated machines that allow you to make deposits and put checks in envelopes like in other countries. So I thought that I was a good person, but the way I react when people take forever at the ATM machine would suggest otherwise. I swear to God, I just don't understand people that take forever. So I'm leaving that up there so that you can share with confidence that we will not shame you. What happens in your life that makes you all of a sudden get really, really ugly, either inside or outside? While you think about that, I'm going to start looking at your comments and see what you guys are up to this morning. Beyond. Oh, Gina is here. Hello, Gina. Are we still meeting at noon? Please confirm. Today, Gina asked me to do some publicity photos for her new restaurant. And we are taking sexy photos of food, as I understand it. If this is the case, please just say, yes, we are. And I will see you at noon at your new restaurant. Let's see what else we have. Pum 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 pum. Happy Sabadaba, says Luisa. Indeed. I noticed this morning that yesterday when we were talking about Cirque du Soleil in Guadalajara, Luisa said to me, let's go to the circus. And I said, let's go to the circus because everything seems to indicate that I'll be going to Guadalajara sometime soon. And if I do, we may have a pre-recorded show for you to enjoy. More good mornings. More good mornings. Oh, what a great message. Have a healthy, hearty, humorous, prosperous week. Thank you very much, Spencer. Thank you very much for the good wishes. Hello from a chilly sandbar in the Mississippi. The outdoor temperature is 0 Celsius. Indoor temperature is 16 Celsius. Refusing to turn the furnace because we are only a little over 2 weeks out before we arrive in Puerto Vallarta. Hooray! That's wonderful news, Dan. That's cold weather, though. Wow, that's crochet weather. That's Afghan weather. I love it. Dale is out and about again this morning from Oaxaca. You know, Dale, I don't know how you do it, but you do manage to go in all these trips, and I am envious in the best possible way. Let's see. Good point. Yes. Christy says broadcasters have commercials to wipe their brows. And you have no idea what goes on when I push the button for the transitions between the headlines and the weather. I usually blow my nose or cough really loud. And you are correct. That's what commercial breaks are for. I love it. Let's see. I see this comment must have to do with the staffing. We must be patient and kind. Absolutely, we must. I actually fear, I fear for those people that may be coming here on vacation or returning here from cities where the pace is faster. And then all of a sudden, people arrive and they're like, what the hell? What's going on? So if you have friends coming back that forget that the pace is a little mellow here, maybe it's our opportunity to do our good deed as English-speaking locals and remind everyone to take a chill pill. Let's see. Carmen from Oculto comments, hospitality staff shortage is a worldwide situation after the pandemic. Lots of people realized the too long hours, low pay, and bad conditions were not worth going back. The industry will have to change or it is doomed. What a great comment. Thank you very much for that, Carmen, because this is true. I think the pandemic and being able to work from home and finding alternative options to make a living is making the whole work industry having to rethink itself. Hopefully, this will happen in Puerto Vallarta, and, we'll see what happens. Love the horses, says Linda Quinn. I love them too, but I must confess the adult in me has not dared to hop on one of them. Hopefully I will when they come back. Joey says, your photo comments are so important. I cannot see a picture with cut toes or figures without thinking of you. Oh, God bless you, Joey. Well, it's part of the photographic upbringing that I received when working at Vallarta Lifestyles and that I have received from, other sources. I think we don't think about it, but, whenever a photo has something funny going on about it, then it sticks out, doesn't it? At least I think it does. Sage says, I think it's wonderful that you are so supportive of your future ex-husband. Honey, I am supportive of all of them because I have several. Yes, they all deserve some TLC. Let's see what else. Do 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 do. Bummer about the rocking horses bringing the grandkids to Puerto Vallarta and having been telling them all about it. Well, Kathy, I don't know when your grandkids are arriving. Hopefully, the repair period, which is not going to be very long. Let's see. Oh, that was Christy. I saw somebody playing it safe and saying, yes, it's called a bolsa, but now we know the correct name for them. Let's see what else. No, they're not called baguettes. Of course not, unless you're thinking of something else. Uh, Tilego, says Suzanne, and that's a word that sounds vaguely familiar, but honestly, I don't know what that means. I would ask my happy, intelligent speaker, but I don't want to send your speakers out of whack. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Let's see. Gary says, my bags are not fancy. Most say OXO on them. Be careful, my friends, with those bags that they sell at OXO because and at many of the stores, the ones that seem to be like a synthetic fabric, they disintegrate on their own. It's the freakiest thing. You've had one for a few months and they disintegrate. There must be something in the air that kills them. I don't know what it is. But has that happened to you that you have plastic bags and all of a sudden you go reach out and they literally start falling apart in your fingers? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Linda offers some helpful advice. The little bag or the big ones, of which I have many inside where the fasteners are, it's easy to get your fingers cut. It's easy to cut yourself. So yes, you're absolutely right. Be careful of, these fasteners here. I don't know if you can even see them, but you know what I'm talking about in here. Let's see. Ricky went Googling behind our back. I saw this definition. A sabucán, the word in Yucatan for tote bag, is not Mayan, but derived from the Taino Sibucán, which was a bag made of soft tree bark. The reusable bag is woven into Yucatecan identity. Thank you very much for that. Let's see. John says, Paco, your bag is so small, all you can fit in that bag is one mango. Well, John, all I need is one mango to keep myself entertained. What do I mean by that? Well, in Spanish, here in Mexico, the word mango also means a handsome guy. So, if all I get is one mango, that should keep me happy and entertained for a whole weekend, actually. Paul, it's great to read you, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for beers, boys, and burgers. That is a mouthful, so I'm going to read this after the break. But, of course, it is great to see your insights here. Da, 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 da. Now we're getting at, oh, yes, this happens to me. I thought I was a good person, says Claude, but the way I react when people tell a Spanish waiter to speak English would suggest otherwise. Here's another one. When people are rude to service people. Wow. When people dig through the trash put out for the evening. Fair enough. Again, this is a no judgment, no comment experience, so we're not going to say anything. Oh, that's a good one. I thought I was a good person, but the way I react when people fall would suggest otherwise. Oh, Luisa. Oh, my goodness. I love this one from Carl Lowery. I thought I was a good person, but the way I react when people from the States ask if I feel safe in Vallarta would suggest otherwise. I love it. I love it. Albert says, when people cut in line in front of me on the highway to exit at the last minute and back up the traffic behind. Oh, let me add to my list then the people that don't use, how do you call direccionales in English? When you're going to take a turn, you turn on your blinkers, your chingadera. Well, here people don't think those chingaderas exist. Stephanie says rude people. Sheila says rude or disrespectful. We are all on such a similar mindset. I love it. When people just cut in front of you when you are in line, I hear you. Uh, oh, Carmen Porras, I am with you so much. When people mistreat children or pets, it just kills me. And it's one of those situations, particularly with children. Sometimes you just want to turn around and scold that parent or that older sibling when I see that happening. And when I read news about, for example, there was a headline recently about a man that got busted here in town with a basket full of turtle eggs. He was busted in Los Muertos Beach, and the day before, there had been a report of a turtle that was killed on Los Muertos Beach, and just with rocks being thrown at it. I mean, that just made me so incensed. It's not even funny. Um, Suzanne says, when a mother doesn't answer her child when she is screaming, mama, mama. Ray says, litter bugs. Litter bugs. I don't understand that one. If it has to do with, what is a litter bug? I don't even know what a litter bug is, so maybe I need to do some research. Catherine says, I thought that I was a good person, but the way I react when cyclists and pedestrians wearing black with no lights or reflectors at night walking and cycling in the road, invisible, would suggest otherwise. Kathy says, when people treat others badly. Ricky adds to the comments, when people talk down to Mexicans or fail to leave the same percentage tip that they would. NOB. Nasty, obnoxious bastards. I don't have no idea what NOB means, but I will accept that. I was reading this morning about a man, poor thing, that has a tumor on his face, and he sells fruits at a vegetable and fruit stand, and people don't want to buy his produce because of the tumor on his face. I thought that was really sad. When they try to tell me their religious and political values are the right ones. Oh, Karen, that's a good one, and don't get me started. When people put laugh emoji on a serious post, sometimes people use emojis in a funny way, don't they? I don't like emojis when people are trying to make a passive-aggressive comment, if I may say so myself. When people park their car or truck on the corner and you can't cross the street, or people with disabilities or maybe carriage have a difficult time. I hear you. Oh my goodness. I hope you all feel better about putting all this stuff out in the open. Gary chimes in on my ATM confusion. I know it's going to be a wait when you see two people huddled around one machine pushing random buttons. That reminds me, Gary, of the people that go to OXXO. You know, at OXXO, you can pay your bills. You can pay the cell phone. You can pay the telephone bill, the electricity bill. And people that show up with bundles of bills to pay many of them at the same time, like maybe it's an administrator for a whole condo. It really wrecks the rhythm. Let's see. When people act like they don't try to learn the local language or the place they are visiting and expect others to speak their language. We've heard that just a second ago. Yes. What? When a person is waiting on you and someone, oh yes, when a person is waiting on you and someone else walks up and asks a question, and the person waiting on you starts helping the other person that interrupted. You know, I got ugly at the bank one time. I was sitting at a desk, and I think to myself, once you're sitting at a desk, it's because somebody is going to give you undivided attention. And somebody walked into this bank executive to get a signature on a piece of paper, and I turned around and I said, no, you wait for your turn. And the person says, all I need is a signature. And I said, I don't give a damn. This is my turn. He's waiting on me. So you wait for your turn so that he can wait on you. And then I turned to the ATM person, to the bank executive, and I said to him, and you better not put that signature on that piece of paper. And he just looked at me that way, and he continued taking care of me, of course. Um, and I'm sure there must be somebody out there that thinks that my attitude deserved a bad reaction, but hey, nobody's perfect in this world. Oh, Paul has a good one. When people just stop in a driving lane to get tacos, backing up traffic. Well, it could be get tacos or run to the ATM or whatever. Some people just don't appreciate that a car stopping in a narrow street can really fuck up things for everybody else. Um, Kathy, I can't wait for you to get here. Kathy here. I do get annoyed when people tell me that if I would only pray to Jesus, my disability would disappear. Kathy, I try to pray to Jesus to get rid of all this extra love that I'm carrying, and I failed. Nothing happened. Uh, Steven says, if you're looking for the next husband, look me up. Okay. Oh, my goodness. I shall. I shall. At the very least, Stephen, I'm going to troll your Facebook profile, and that is a promise. Let's see. Mushy, long time no right. Mushy gets ugly when cars cut to the front of the left turn lane at the light rather than wait their turn like everyone else. Motorcycles fine, not cars back off the line. I hear you. I hear you. And I hope you guys are not bored with me reading all these comments. I am delighted. I am delighted. Stephanie comments on the Walmart bags. They disintegrate too. Absolutely. And Jenny asks, perhaps because they are biodegradable. Jenny, I don't know. But for example, yesterday I was transplanting my penis cactus. I have a cactus in the shape of a penis, although now it seems like a cactus that is shaped like a penis with a huge number of testicles. Anyhow, when it was a baby, he just had two little itty bitty ones. But now I had to transplant it. And when I went for my gloves, my rubber gloves, so that I wouldn't get prickled, and I tried to put one on, it just poof, it just turned into dust. Let's see. Oh, Brenda. Ooh, let's go get some bread together, Brenda. You are a mango, she says. Oh, that is sweet. And when I say let's go bread together, that is Mexican lingo for let's go on a date. Turn signals. Thank you. Thank you. I knew there was a term. Greta, which is Claude and Lucas's car, had no signal lights, but now she does. Use of hand signals no more. Oh, that's great news. When you are riding a bicycle or a motorcycle, you are expected to signal your turns, especially when you're on a bicycle. Thank you, John. A litter bug is one who throws trash on the street. I understand. Yes, that makes me pretty angry, especially if I'm on a car and the car in front of me, they're throwing like cans of beer just like out on the road. That just pisses me off. And mind you, when I say, we get ugly, we don't let it get to us. Or I think the challenge is to not let little incidents like that ruin our day. Da 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 da. When people don't leave when you say goodbye, you mean when people don't take a hint that it's time to end get together or rendezvous? I hear you. NOB must be north of the border. Whatever. Well, I'm south of the border, so that's why I don't know that one. La, da, 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 da. I think we've reached the end. When you're riding an escalator and people stop right at the top and there are people behind them. Oh, I hear. My heart is with you, Christy. My heart is with all of you and your little things, because we all have little things. The challenge, I think, is to not let them spoil our daily lives. Here's the last one we're going to read. Ray says, when your bus driver is texting while he's driving, texting or answering phone calls. Yes, I hear you. Anyhow, no, I don't share this little game, and I hope you enjoyed playing it. I see that we're down to 76 people, but that's okay. I hope you enjoyed the game. Simply to remember that there are better things in life to think about when little incidents like that turn up to ruin our day. So don't sweat the small stuff. Just go on and think about good stuff instead. And speaking of good stuff to think about, it's the end of the week. I'm going to enjoy a wonderful day off tomorrow. I hope you do too. And I hope to see you again on Monday, where I am sure the City Hall telenovela will continue to unravel and we will have other news to share. So, have a great weekend.